This is MATHguide.com, and my name is Mark Karadimos. In this video, you are going to learn how to take real zeros, change them into factors, multiply them to get polynomials. So in the first section, we're going to go over just a few little details. Then we're going to do two examples. Let's get started. You're going to need to know one important detail to move forward. Let's say that we have some zeros. Let's say I have, for instance, these zeros, A, B, C, D. So they stand for real numbers, and these real numbers are locations on the x-axis where the polynomial crosses, otherwise known as x-intercepts. Okay, well, if those are the zeros, then the way to get factors are going to be to take x minus this, x minus b, x minus c, and x minus d. And you could do this for any number of x-intercepts or zeros that you have, whether they be 2, 1, or 20,000. It doesn't matter. All right, now what do? Well, to take these factors and multiply them together will allow you to have a polynomial expression that has these given zeros. All right, so let's see how this works with an actual example with some real numbers. All right, so here we have 3 real zeros. Remember, that stands for the x-intercepts of a polynomial. In other words, that's where the polynomial crosses the x-axis at these 3 locations. So what do you do first if you want to find the polynomial that has these zeros? You convert them into factors, and you could see how you do that. You just basically take the opposite. It's x minus 5, it's x plus 6, and x minus 2. Okay, so we now have the factors. What do? You multiply them together. Now to multiply these together, I'm going to quickly show you a table. I'm not going to spend much time explaining how I'm getting these numbers, because at this point you should have seen how to multiply polynomials before. This should not be your first time. So anyway, these tables are convenient because you multiply columns times rows, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm multiplying columns times rows. And when you're done, you're going to combine like terms. So like I can combine these two terms to get x. So basically I get x squared, I get x, and a minus 30. But I want to take this and multiply it by x minus 2. So what do? You make another table, and I'm just going to make this table bigger. Okay, so making the table bigger, so I could basically squeeze all this information on here, like the x minus 2. And again, I'm multiplying columns times rows. So I get x cubed, x squared, minus 30x. I get negative 2x squared. I get negative 2x. And here I'm getting a 60. Okay, now I'm going to combine like terms. Notice that those two are alike and those two are alike. So I get x cubed, I get, let's see, that's a minus x squared. Combine those, you get a negative 32x and a plus 60. And there you go. So if I have these zeros, it turns out that this is the corresponding polynomial. All right, let's try another one that gets a little harder. So you can see that I've placed 4 zeros at the top of the paper, or screen in this case, and what I want to do is change this into factors and then multiply the factors to get the corresponding polynomial. Okay, so let's do that. So our first factor would be x plus 1, our next x minus 3, our third one x minus 4, and our last one x plus 2. I'm going to multiply these together. Now, I'm not going to show the work here, but I'm going to multiply those together. I suggest using a table if your skills are not so good, or if you really like to see detail. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to multiply these out. I'm really just doing a couple steps in my head, but anyway, I'm not going to spend much time on that because this video is not about doing those basic stuff. It's about just understanding the connection between zeros, factors, and polynomials. So now to multiply this, I could use a table, but what I'm going to do is just do the distributive property. So I'm going to multiply x squared times all of this. So x squared times x squared is x to the fourth. X squared times negative 2x. X squared times negative 8. X squared. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to multiply negative 2x times all this. So negative 2x times x squared is negative 2x cubed. Negative 2x times negative 2 is positive 4x squared. Let's see, negative 2x times negative 8, positive 16x. All right, now I'm going to take negative 3 and multiply it by that last trinomial. So let's see, negative 3 times x squared, negative 3x squared. Oop, almost put it in the wrong spot. Okay, negative 3 times negative 2x is a positive 6x. And negative 3 times negative 8 is a positive 24. All right. And now I'm going to add all these like terms together. And you can see that as I was writing out answers, I was aligning them in like terms in columns, because now it makes it really easy to add like terms. Okay, so let's see. This is going to be 1, that's a minus 7x squared, plus 22, plus 24. And there you go. There's your final answer. So, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video. Heck, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you go back to MATHguide.com, check out our text-based lessons, our interactive quizzes, and of course our instructional videos. Take care. MATHguide.com